Um, so welcome for our weekly Bhagavad Gita reading. We are continuing from where we stopped, that is chapter number 33 and text number 14 we did last time. So we'll continue with 15. So what we are discussing is the cycle of sacrifice, wherein the rains are produced by the uh, sorry. We'll create a table and we'll talk about local government. Okay, so government. Hmm. So just like we have a local government here, which takes care of, um, you know, water supply, then electricity, and what all? Roads, medicine, let's say hospitals, education, right? Um, Defense. So we have a local government which provides us all these things, right? So similarly, there's a universal government. It's for one universe. This is for one country. This is for universe. This is for uh, country. Okay. And this is for universe slash earth. So who takes care of the water supply? Indra, irrigation department. What it produces? Rains. Electricity, fire, electricity, here, sun god, sun, moon, you know, whom we call as Surya Dev, Chandra Dev. So these are demigods. They take care of all these things. Vayu, air, hospitals, education, um, dhanvantari, dhanvantari, medical, defense, Kartikeya, Ganesha. Hmm? So these are the so this is comparison of local government versus universal government. Okay. So when we study in our uh, present schools, we are talked about local government, right? Nobody talks about universal government, but they do exist. And how do we reciprocate with the local government? We pay taxes and we follow rules and regulation, right? So universal government, what we do? We perform duties and yajna. Hmm? So we talked about it. We perform duties which are described in our Vedas, hmm? And we perform yajna, sacrifice. Hmm? Then the demigods are satisfied. They provide us rain. From rain, food is great. Food is grown. Living entities subsist on it. Some part of the food. Um, just hold on, please. Yeah. So some part of the food, we offer it to Krishna. Hmm? And then the Supreme Lord and the demigods, they are satisfied. They provide us the karma, the duties which are there in the Vedas. So this is a cycle of sacrifice. And in the local government, we have the cycle of taxes and benefits. Right? Okay. So let's move with 3.15, which is our today's watch. Karma Brahma Bhavad Vidhi Brahmakshara Samudbhavam Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yagge Pratishtitam. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personal Godhead. Consequently, the all prevailing transcendence is eternally situated in the acts of sacrifice. So we have to do Yagya Artha Karma, or necessity of work for satisfaction of Krishna only, is more expressly stated in this verse. If we want to work for satisfaction of Yagya Purusha Vishnu, then we must find out the direction of the work in the Brahman and of the transcendental Vedas. The Vedas are therefore codes of working direction. Anything performed without the direction of the Vedas is called Vikarma, or unauthorized sinful work. So similarly, we have the Constitution of India, we have the justice system of India, right? So in India, if let's take example of traffic rules. So traffic rules is you have to drive, on the what right hand side, right? Here it is all right hand side driving. Agreed. But in some countries it is left hand side driving. Now somebody comes from other country and drives left hand side. Then is that allowed? No, that is breakage of laws, right? Similarly, what is there in our Vedas, if somebody doesn't follow that, then it is called vikarma, unauthorized, sinful activity. Hmm? So it will be punished. Therefore, one should always take direction from the Vedas to be saved from the reaction of work. So this is what is missing in our education, present day education. We are not taking any direction from the Vedas. And as one has to work in ordinary life by the direction of the state, one similarly has to work under the direction of the supreme state of the Lord. See, there is a lot of rules and regulations in the present government, right? So people are very much interested to know what is it and all that, so that they don't break it. Similarly, the universal government is also there. One needs to take care of the from the what is there in the Vedas also. In the Vedic times, both these laws of the state and the law of the supreme were both same. Hmm? But in today's world, they can differ. They can differ. Like in case of abortion, government may allow abortion. Like some, outside of India, there are certain governments which allow abortion. But according to abortion is actually killing of children. So in the Vedas, it is very it's considered sinful. You cannot kill a child. But the state may allow, and the state may not, jail a person. But the karma of that act will anyway come. So that's why we need to know the universal government laws also, which are there in the Vedas. Okay. Such direction in the Vedas are directly manifested from the breathing of the Supreme Personality of God. It is said, "Asya mahato bhutasya nishvasitam etad etadya grido vido yajurveda sama vedo tharvangrisha." The four Vedas, namely the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Athar Veda, are emanations from the breathing of the personality of Godhead. So when the Supreme Lord breath, from his breath came the four Vedas. The Lord, being omnipotent, can speak by breathing air. So can we speak by breathing air? No, right? We cannot produce. We can produce language. So when the Lord speaks, his language is the Vedas. When we speak, we have to be taught how to speak. When a baby cries, it has to be taught how to speak. Okay, so that's why the baby, when it grows, it gets to learn A, B, C, D, A, E, E, and then speak in a language. But the Supreme Lord doesn't have to learn anything. When he speaks directly, books come out from his mouth. Atharvaveda, Samveda, like that. So that is the power of Supreme Lord. The Lord is omnipresent to perform through each of these senses the action of all other senses. See, omnipotence means what? From one sense, one can perform action of other sense. Like through his eyes, he can walk, and through his legs, he can see, or he can talk. Have we heard of this thing? No, right? But the Supreme Lord can do this thing. He can see through his hands. Can we see through our hands? No, we need our eyes to see. But when it considers God, he can do anything with his essence. That's why he's called omnipotent. Omnipotent, meaning his senses are potent of doing many things. You're getting this?
Can you say compare this with reflexes we have? Like, even like when we know that there is uh, we have to react quickly, there's some danger. Our senses become too strong and the coordination is too
Yeah,
strong.
yeah,
Can we
yeah.
compare it with that?
We So there's a difference between the meaning omnipotence and dexterity. Dexterity. So dexterity means our hands can, like our right hand can also work like our left hand, or let's say the right hand is as strong as the left hand is as strong as the right hand. That means, let's say, writing. So most of us can write only with one hand, right? Say right hand.
Yes,
But
yes.
there are some people who can write with left hand also. Same speed, same writing, same handwriting, so it's called dexterity. So dexterity is different than omnipotent. Dexterity means, both of the senses, they can work nicely. One is not less strong and other one is more strong. No. So omnipotence is different. Omnipotence means, the potency, the energy of that particular sense is omni. I'll just,
Uh, can we say multi-purpose? Like it can serve other senses as well. Like it can do the duty or work of other senses as well.
yeah, it can do anything. It is not just dexterity, it can do anything. Meaning one sense can act like another sense, and it can act multiple senses at the time. Okay. Like I was saying, through his eyes he can walk. We cannot imagine such a thing, right? How can through eyes somebody can walk, right?
Yes, 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 correct.
Yeah, so that is called as omnipotence. So it cannot be compared. But yeah, like you said, dexterity is there. Like some people, with practice can write with their legs, but it takes practice. And omnipotence means there is no need of practice, and the ability is there.
It comes naturally.
Yeah, so omnipotent is very much related to God. You see, in the dictionary also it is related to God, because human being doesn't have this omnipotence. Human being is limited. So God is unlimited. So his potency is that he's omni. Omni, if I just say, what does omni? Omni means of all things. So all potency is there to do. Okay. Okay. In other words, the Lord can speak through his breathing. He can impregnate through his eyes. In fact, it is said that he glanced over the material nature and thus fathered all living entities. After creating and impregnating the conditioned souls into the wombs of the material nature, he gave his directions in the Vedic wisdom as to how such conditioned souls can return home back to Godhead. We should always remember that the conditioned souls in the material nature are all eager for material enjoyment. But the Vedic directions are so made that one can satisfy one's perverted desire to return to Godhead, having finished his so called enjoyment. It is chance for the conditioned soul to attain liberation. Therefore, the conditioned soul must try to follow the process of yajna by becoming Krishna conscious. Even those who do not follow the Vedic injunctions adopt the principles of Krishna consciousness, may adopt the principles of Krishna consciousness, and they may take place and will take place the performance of Vedic yajnas or karmas. So basically, we have to do this Vedic yajnas and karmas. Yeah. So Krishna said in the starting, he says, "Be thou happy by this yajna." So if we want to live in this country, if we want to be happy in this country, we have to follow the rules and regulations, right? Similarly,
Yes,
if you want to
correct,
live in
correct.
this universe, Krishna is saying, follow the yajna, follow the prescribed duties, right? It makes sense. Hmm? Okay. 16. एवं प्रवर्ति एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रम नानुवर्तयति यः अगयुर इंद्रियारामो मोघम पार्थ स जीवति. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in the human life the cycle of sacrifice just established by the Vedas certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of senses, such a person lives in vain. So basically, same question. If you don't follow this cycle of sacrifice, then it's a full of sinful life, and that life is of no use, right? It's a vain. It's of no use. The Mammonist philosophy. Mammonist philosophy is what? Work very hard, enjoy sense gratification. Is condemned herein. So what is the problem with this philosophy? You work hard, enjoy sense gratification. What is the problem with this philosophy? Yeah.
But why is there a problem like to work hard and enjoy?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like, don't you think we have earned that by working hard?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Let me. Yeah. So we read this in the 12th verse, which says that in charge of various necessities of life, the demigods being satisfied the performance of yajna will supply all the necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gift without offering them to the demigods is certainly a thief. So this statement will help us to understand why the above philosophy is like this, is condemned. So in 3.14. So in the above philosophy, work very hard, enjoy. What is missing? What is missing?
The offering,
What is offering? What does offering means?
like we had discussed, like for example, for the grains, you give an example. We celebrate different festivals, then
Okay, in
you offer
simple
naivedya.
language, let's say we remove the demigods. Okay, for the time being, we give the demigods
Okay,
away. Even in our day-to-day life, there are many people who work hard, they're very rich, and they enjoy. What does offering mean to them? Let's say one is demigod. There is one more thing we discussed. Let's say, a rich person, he works hard and then he enjoys parties and all that. Etc. Okay. What is missing in this life? If I say, what does offering to a rich man means? What he has to offer, and to whom? So if a rich man says, I work hard, I enjoy. What is your problem? What is this offering? What I have to offer? What does the rich man has to offer? He says, okay, I pay taxes. We may say, oh, you're doing illegal. No, he says, I pay taxes. I earn crores and I pay taxes in lakhs. Is that enough? Is that enough offering?
No.
Then what is missing? What he has to do more? There's a particular word I'm looking for. You can tell me. See, how does a man become rich?
He he works hard. He gets successful in his career. And if he's doing in the
There are many
through
people
the
who
right
work
way,
hard.
through the
There
right
are many,
way.
many, many, many people who work hard. Do everyone become rich?
No, no, that's what I said. Like there are ways. Like if if someone selects the wrong path, then obviously like he doesn't have to work that much hard.
No, but there are many, many people who work hard throughout their life. Do they become very rich person?
No, no, no.
No. And there are people who just become rich, like lottery and all that. How do they become? What is the force that gives them lottery
Luck,
and wins, make them wins?
luck.
Luck. In other words, there is karma, there is the Supreme Lord who awards them the richness, right? There is destiny,
Yes, yes.
there is fate, there is karma, which awards a person destiny. Like those who take birth in rich families, what kind of hard work they did? Did they do any hard work? Did do babies in their families do any hard work? No, they just took birth. They did hard work in their previous life.
Okay,
That's why they
okay.
got rich. They took birth in a rich. So there are rich people and then there is poor people. And according to karma, people are rich and poor. Okay. Now, what is the duty of a rich person? If he has to offer, he has to offer to the demigods, he has to offer to the society, he has to offer to the government. Let's take three things. To the government, he'll say, I have paid taxes. And how does he offer back to the society? And how does he offer
Doing
back to the devil?
charity, kind of
Yeah,
charity.
good point. Good point. Charity to poor. See, he became rich because of some past karma and because of the awardance of the Supreme Lord. Similarly, there are some people who are poor, so he can share his richness with the poor people, so that they are not. Why he has to share? Because he has to see them as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. He has to see them. These are human society. These are my family members, extended family members. If we see a family member hungry, what do? We provide them food, right? Similarly, the rich person should see that. Okay, to the demigods, what he has to do?
As we discussed, like he
Yeah,
on
he
the
has to
offerings,
sacrifice.
sacrifices of.
He has to sacrifice. He has to offer to demigod, you know, or Krishna, right? He has to use that in that service. So this particular mentality, right? Work hard, enjoy sense gratification. If it is missing these three aspects, then it is condemned. Okay. Now does it make sense?
What if like someone gets rich through wrong ways, and after that he still oblige with these 3 points, like government, society, and demigods. Do you think that nullifies like what wrong he has done?
Okay. You tell me. You tell me in today's laws. You tell me in today's laws, if a rich person um, becomes rich by illegal means, but pays full taxes to government, can government um, prison him? Right? That is the question, right?
Yeah, like even
Hey, what is the answer? What, according to today's laws, will the government still consider?
if he's paying the whole taxes, then obviously not. But again, if he gets caught uh, at times, then obviously then he will get behind bars. Like, but again, like
No,
they're rich, so
no.
they can.
The government says you have to become rich. You have to earn by legal work, not by illegal work. Right? Whether you
But
pay the taxes or not is a secondary thing. But the very primary thing is that you have to earn by legal work only. Earn by legal means, isn't it? Does this point make sense to you? See, the government is still going to catch him. He cannot run and say, "Oh, I paid all the taxes and all that," or "I'm the biggest taxpayer." The government says you have to earn by legal means.
then don't you think this is just in theory?
No, no, no. We are talking about theory only. Let's for the
Ah,
time
okay,
being.
okay, got it,
Yeah,
got it, got it. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
I get.
According to the laws, according to government laws, according to the justice system, even today, the government has a right to catch this person, right? Who is earning by illegal means.
Yes, yes.
Even though he may say, "Oh, I paid full taxes," the government says no. The first law is that you should earn by legal means. Okay. So same way, karma also acts like that. It doesn't nullify actually. Good karma doesn't nullify bad karma. They go into different buckets. They go into different buckets. And one has to suffer the one bucket, the other bucket, and all that. Some atonements are there to reduce or eradicate. Some atonements are there, yes. Some atonements is there in the Vedas. Prayashchita. It's called Prayashchita. Oh, sorry. It's called Prayashchita. Have you heard about word Prayashchita?
Yes, yes, I have.
Yeah. So Prayashchita is there given and atonements is given. What is the Prayashchita in today's world? You're put into jail. You pay fine. You remain in jail for 10 years, right?
Yes, correct.
So depending on the crime, the prayashchita is decided, the atonement is decided, the correctional method is decided. Similarly, in the Vedas also, depending on the bad karma, the atonements are decided. So how severely bad it is, the atonement will be as severe. Okay. Now, one may do this atonement and get his bad karma reduced. Okay. Uh, then still there is a problem remains. What is the problem? What happens if a criminal, he he's been put into jail for 10 years, and after 10 years he comes out. What does he do? Does he live a good life, or what he does generally?
No, obviously, everything changes for them.
It
Like
changes
every
for them, but it is seen many times that the criminal again does start doing his criminal activity. So what is the problem in atonement? Atonement doesn't eradicate the desire to commit crime. It doesn't remove that desire. It will just remove the bad effect. Okay, but doesn't remove the desire. So the desire remains. And when the criminal comes out, he again does the bad karma. So atonements are limited. Similarly, the jail keepers, they have this problem where they say that, after putting them into jail, again they come out and they keep doing the same activity. Right? Have you heard about this?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So the Vedas prescribe knowledge to burn the all to burn all the bad karmas. So knowledge of the soul, knowledge of karma, all that burns all the bad karmas. But again, there is still a problem with this. What is the problem? If a tree is burned, what remains? Do you know, if you burn a tree,
The ashes, yes.
no, ashes remain, that's fine. But what part of the tree remains?
No, no idea.
That doesn't burn if we burn the tree. Think, if you burn the tree, something remains. Why? Because it is under the ground. What is under
Roots,
the ground?
roots.
Roots. So roots remain. So what happens if the roots are watered?
The tree will grow again.
The tree will grow. So knowledge is still not full answer for this, because if it is watered, the bad karma will again grow. So then, what is the complete answer? Where transformation of heart can take place. That happens only through bhakti, through devotional service to Krishna. Once this is done, then the complete transformation of heart takes place. Then the root is also burnt. And in the heart, there is no desire to commit crime or sin. Okay?
Yes, yes. Okay.
So one has to reach the platform of bhakti, not just do good karma, but one has to reach to the platform of bhakti. Then bad karma and the previous baggage of bad karma, all that will burn. Even the root will also burn. And then there is no desire only to commit crime or sin. Then there is no point. One is completely focused on Krishna. Like we always took the example of Valmiki Rishi. He was a dacoit before he became Valmiki Rishi, right? Then he chanted the name of Lord Ram. And by chanting the name of Lord Ram for a long time, his all his desire to commit crime and all that burnt. And then he became a sage, sadhu. Okay?
But then what about the ones who suffered because of his crimes or like in general like one's crime? Like even if they do bhakti, but the one who had to suffer suffered. Like they had done nothing wrong to deserve that. Like
So the thing is, the karma, right? The karmic reaction and the karma cycle, right, is very intricate. It is very difficult to understand. Okay, those who suffered, they also have certain reactions, because of that they suffer, and we don't know. Okay, we don't know. Why we don't know? Because we are not the universal government. See, we have the what, jails here, right? We have jails, we have jailer, we have the justice department, right? Here in the universal government, who takes care of it? Yamraj, right? Yamraj, hell, heaven, all that. So we are not Yamraj. So therefore, we cannot decide and say that, oh, the bad people, what karma they went through. He knows. So everyone is getting reaction of their karmas, actually, technically. Okay. So it is not that anyone who doesn't experience that. Everyone goes through that experience. But Yamraj can tell why we went through that experience. Okay, even though one person may be innocent, but there is some karma which is there, and it is a karma of millions of lifetimes. So we also don't know, no, in which lifetime we did what and all that. Getting?
But then why this lifetime only? Because they hadn't done anything wrong in this lifetime. Maybe in the previous
Yeah. So why
life.
this lifetime is sometimes, see, there are many trees which take different times to get fruits. There are some trees which create which which bear fruits in months. Some takes years. Similarly, the karmas also are like that. They fructify at different times. So in this lifetime, they fructified, and then one has to suffer. But then what is the solution? So the solution, we looked at it, right? One solution is prayachita. What is the problem with prayachita? Oh, the desires won't be eradicated. Then we need knowledge of karma and soul and super soul and all that. That in that also everything gets burnt, but roots remain. What is the best solution? Bhakti. So if we do bhakti, then all the karma is destroyed. So this is the solution. Bhakti is the solution. So when one becomes a devotee of Krishna, all his karmas get reduced considerably. And when he becomes pure devotee, everything goes away. Zero. It becomes zero. So in their life, if anything happens, then it is not due to karma. Then it is due to Krishna's desire. And Krishna will take care. Personally, he will come and take care. Okay? Like in kind of Pandavas. Pandavas were already pure devotee. They didn't have any bad karma. But so many things went in their life badly. But in their lives, there is one person who kept coming to protect them. Who was he? Krishna. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So therefore, one has to do bhakti. One has to come to this platform of bhakti. And Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Um, we have less time for today. Let's open up for some questions or comments. Any question or comment you have?
No, no, no. I asked whatever doubts I have on
Okay,
spot.
okay.
So.
Good, good, good. Okay. So, okay, let me read complete this paragraph. Okay. So you understood, right? What is the problem with this? There has to be an element of charity. There has to be an element of sharing.
Sharing, offering, yes.
Yeah,
Charity, sharing, offering.
yeah. Okay. And even the enjoyment has to be legal. It cannot be illegal enjoyment. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, because that is also a problem, right? Right? Does that make sense? So
Yes,
Krishna
yes.
gives, so Krishna tells you can work hard and you enjoy legally. And the Vedas say how to enjoy within limits, within legally and all that. Okay. In one of the verses, Krishna says, Yukta harasya vairasya. He says your recreation should also be regulated. It should not be unlimited or going rashly. Okay. Therefore, those who want to enjoy this material world, there is the above mentioned cycle of performing yajna is absolutely necessary. One who does not follow such regulation is living a very risky life, being condemned more and more. By nature's laws, this human form of life is specially meant for self-realization. See, human form of life is meant for what? Self-realization. Okay, it's not meant for just work hard and enjoy. This is the point of spiritual knowledge. Spiritual knowledge means we have to come to this understanding that actually we are meant for spiritual realization. And we can do it in any of the three ways: karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. There is no necessity of rigidly following the performances of prescribed yajnas for the transcendentalists who are above vice and virtue, but those who are engaged in sense gratification require purification by the above mentioned cycle of yajna performances. So we have to perform yajna performances because why? Because we are not transcendentalist. We are not pure people. We are in our own cycle of karma. So we need to perform the yajnas and all that. There are different kinds of activities. Those who are not Krishna consciousness are certainly engaged in sensory consciousness. Therefore, they need to execute pious activities. The yajna system planned in such a way that the sensory conscious people may satisfy desire without becoming entangled. So this is what I was saying. See, sensory conscious people may satisfy their desires without becoming entangled in the reaction of sense gratificatory work. Meaning, they want to enjoy, but if they do something illegal, then it will become entangling again, right? So the yajna system, that is the Vedas, they prescribe how to enjoy also. Okay, in such a way that there is no reaction to it. The prosperity of the world depends not on one own effort, but on the background arrangement of Supreme Lord. Okay, this we discussed, right? Like a rich person doesn't become just rich because of their effort, but also on the background arrangement of the Supreme Lord, directly carried out by the demigods. Therefore, the yajnas are directly aimed to a particular demigods mentioned in the Vedas. Indirectly, it is a practice of Krishna consciousness. Because when one masters the performance of yajnas, one is sure to become Krishna conscious. But if by performing yajnas one does not become Krishna conscious, such principles are counted only as moral codes. One should not therefore limit his progress only to point of moral codes, but should transcend them to attain Krishna consciousness. See, this means that one should come to the platform of bhakti. Otherwise, moral codes and all that is just here only. Atonement, okay? And not even on the level of knowledge also. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let me see. 3.17. Okay, it's a small verse. We can complete this. But for those who, okay. यस्तवात्मरतिर एव सात आत्मतृप्तस्य मानवः आत्मनि एव संतुष्ट तस्य कार्यम न विद्यते. So those who take pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of the self-realization and who's satisfied in self and just fully satisfied, for him there is no duty. Now there are those who are transcendentalists. That means they're pure. Already they are pure. So they don't have any duty to perform. But those who are impure, like us, like common people like us, we have to perform our duty. So Krishna is not talking about those who are already pure. What is their duty? Actually, they don't have any duty. Okay. A person who is fully Krishna conscious, fully satisfied in his acts in Krishna consciousness, no longer has any duty to perform. For due to this, his being Krishna consciousness, all impiety within is instantly cleansed as an effect of many thousands of yajna performances. By such clearing of consciousness, one becomes fully confident of his eternal position relationship with the Supreme. His duty has become self-illuminated by the grace of the Lord, and therefore he no longer has any obligation to Vedic intellectuals. Such a Krishna consciousness is no longer interested in material activities, no longer takes place in material arrangements like wine, women, and similar infatuations. Okay, those who are pure persons, those who are sadhus and sages, they are not interested in wine, women, and similar infatuations, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
Correct.
therefore, they don't have any duty. They are fully focused on Krishna. So Krishna is going to talk about those kind of people from verses 7, 18 and all that. And he's going to tell, come to this platform of self-realized person. Then there is no issue of duty. Okay? Okay.
Yes.
So we'll stop here. And next week we'll continue with 18.
All right.
Any last question,
Okay.
comment?
No, no, sir, nothing.
Okay.